Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with another batch of new comic book reviews, and Twiddles is awake, so he's going to be tweeting through this. I apologize. All right, this time around, as you can see here, we're going to be talking about Future State Superwoman. Not Supergirl, Superwoman. But there are no Supergirls allowed here. Also, the Juggernaut, Stillwater, and Suicide Squad number 10. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit behind. I'm catching up. Seriously doing that. All right, let's kick back, relax, get this party started. Alrighty, of course, we're going to start off with ZorEl, Superwoman. Now, I do like the fact, by the way, this is not exactly the greatest of covers. Like, there's just one little indication that that was a Supergirl cover. Anyway, the art, I want to talk about that right away. There is sort of a nice painting look to the art. I do enjoy it. It's not bad. I think it kind of lends an ethereal feel to the book, gives it that kind of atmosphere. Superwoman is now on the moon. She's actually helping out a whole bunch of Earth citizens that needed to leave it, and this girl comes on. And forget about it. From here on in, it's not a Superwoman story. This book is not about ZorEl. Even though it's titled that, it's about this silver wolf creature thing that comes out. And it's all about, now granted, Superwoman occasionally is like, oh, and I've got to, by the way, it's all being narrated to Crypto, the dead Superdog, at this point. I mean, there's so much stupid going on in this book. It's amazing. One thing, however, and I will tell you, this is nothing about ZorEl. It's about this girl. That's it. She's talking about, you get all of her history, you get all of her motivations. Supergirl's like, oh, and I just want to help her because I know you would have helped me. Now, we do get this one look at the villains, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But it's like, forget about it until the last page. What the hell was that? If you announce the villains, bring them in. But no, we go right back to the same old, this girl, blah, blah, blah. I'm Mr. Miyagi to her Karate Kid. I'm going to teach her to wax on, wax off. That's the entire story. What the hell is this book supposed? It's supposed to be ZorEl, but it's ethereal white painted girl. That, are we going to be following her at all? I mean, what's the whole point to this? There is, I get it, you want to call her Superwoman and not Supergirl. But literally, there's no Supergirl allowed in this Supergirl book. It's ridiculous. I have never read, well, yeah, I have. I was about to say I've never read a book that's so misguided. But this book is absolutely that. It is misguided. This was just a bad idea from start. And it's, I don't know. I don't know what editor read this and went, hey, this will be a great introduction to our new Superwoman. Okay, then I got to go to Chip Zdarsky's Stillwater. This is issue number 4. So, flat out, I'm not going to be able to recommend this comic book to you. However, I can recommend the story of Stillwater. This is an excellent book. It's just chapter 4 of a miniseries. So, I always feel weird about that. Because, well, can I recommend chapter 4? Actually, yes. Tell you the truth, I can. I just realized this is a standalone story within the miniseries because what you're seeing here is the formation of the town. See, Stillwater, for those of you who don't know about it, it is a story of this. There's this town where the people don't die. They can't get hurt. But the problem is they find out, that this is happening, is that the children don't age. So if you're 10, you're going to be 10 for the rest of your life unless you leave the town. Well, this lady had just had a baby. And 5 years in, she's noticing that her child has the mind of a 5-year-old, but the body of a 2-year-old. So this isn't fair. You have to and they even say, we need to let people leave so they can age, and then, they have the choice to come back. But the leader, the judge here, is like, nope, can't do that. And so it's all about how can we get this baby out of the town so he can go and he can age up and all that. And this is the plan. And of course, this is the main character that we've been following all throughout the series for the first 3 issues. The baby is, anyway. And the thing is, when he comes back, this isn't his home. He doesn't want to stay here, but they don't let people leave because they don't want knowledge of what's going on in that town to get out. Like they said, oh, well, we would be guinea pigs, which I was like, wait a second, that's faulty thinking, because if you leave the town and all of a sudden you can't be regenerated, or you can't be resurrected, and you do die, then you're not going to be guinea pigged on. The town will be. The water, the earth, the soil, which in all honesty, they themselves should have been investigating in the first place. So this is not a flawless story. The thinking among the characters, especially for living so long, it is flawed. That being said, there's a lot of clever ideas. I do think Chip Zdarsky's onto something here. I've so far been intrigued by the story. There hasn't been a bad issue to it. And I know I've got some pushbacks from some people at the comic book shop, because they were like, yeah, I'm not a big fan. So take that with a grain of salt. But this book is, it's got me going. I've got to say, I like this. I think Chip Zdarsky's doing a great job. The art, as you can see, as it goes around here, there's good, there's bad. So it is a little bit inconsistent. But overall, this is a book, the whole story I could recommend. And if you were only going to pick one issue up, this would have to be that issue. Next up, we've got Juggernaut number 4. And I've been enjoying this series. I'm not going to lie to you and say, I understand Marvel bad. I get that. Actually, modern day comic books bad. But this Fabian Nisha, he's old school. And he's writing an old school comic book. This could easily be plopped right down into the 1980s, and it would fit, except for back in the 1980s, Juggernaut was being treated like a villain. And here, apparently, he's an anti-hero, I guess. I've been told long since has he kind of changed his ways. I mean, how long can he hate Charles Xavier? So this is him going after Arnim Zola, and he gets into a fight with his malleable plastic android, which makes sense. If you're going to go up against a guy like Juggernaut, then you have to have something that his strength would not be able to defeat so easy. You want something a little bit more malleable, something that can take it, basically. Now, of course, we find out the big baddie. Well, we kind of knew it beforehand, but the big baddie is really Arnim Zola, the whole malleable plastic man. He's just one more android for Arnim Zola. And Juggernaut gets stopped. So they're like, wait a second, I thought the Juggernaut can't be stopped. So they send in the kid. Actually, she just jumps out. She's one of those impulsive teenager-type superheroes that jumps in while everybody's like saying, no, don't jump in. And she's like, yes, I must. And here's a cool thing, or at least I thought it was kind of cool. We get the whole bit where Juggernaut sees the girl and it's like, oh, you're not going to hurt the girl. And he makes his big play to escape and all that kind of thing. And Arnim Zola is like, oh, wait, hold on, because he doesn't want to get his ass whipped by the Juggernaut. I just wanted to run an experiment. This doesn't help his cause. And so he's like, wait a second, I just wanted to do an experiment on him. So he's like, it took a blood test. And that was it. And so he says, okay, whatever. Now, here's the thing. Why all the big show? I'm sorry, but look at this. This is all for a blood test? You couldn't get that done secretly with a smaller, maybe drone-like droid that goes in, beep, takes blood, and then boom, go, leave? Oy vey, this is definitely comic book stuff. Comic book stuff. Look, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I'm here to the end for Juggernaut. But you got to admit, as fun as this book is, it has its flaws. It has some serious flaws in the storytelling. I dig on Fabian Nisha. He usually does a good job. This one just kind of steps into the what I would normally call Silver Age silliness. But you know what? I'm okay with that. Suicide Squad number 10. Okay, how to look? I when this series started, I enjoyed it, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm enjoying this. I mean, they got a new team and everything, and I thought maybe the reason why they got the new team is because easier to kick off. I mean, it's Suicide Squad, so you want to be able to kill characters. And the problem with the Suicide Squad is you get your loved character and then they're afraid to kill him. And it's the Suicide Squad. You get some lesser knowns in there. If you write them well, people will be like, okay, yeah, but if they get killed, they won't be attached to them as much. That's not the case. They were built to replace the Suicide Squad. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. But in issue, I think it was number 9, we saw Deadshot get killed. And during the whole series, it occurred to me that this Suicide Squad was made to replace the original, flat out. Like, you don't need to read Deadshot anymore because we have guy with the wings here. I can't even remember these people's names. And the thing is they write the teenage heroes the way modern day writers would write kids. They're not just heroes, but they're almost religiously justified in all of their actions and every words. Like anything anybody else says is wrong because they have the power of youth on their side. You know, it's that kind of thing, and it's faulty. So I've seen issue by issue this comic book get worse and worse as it goes. So I am here to tell you, and this is the honest truth, this is my true opinion of this comic book. Every issue of Suicide Squad, this new version that you read, is worse than the one before it. So at that time, you are reading the absolute worst that Suicide Squad has to offer. And this is no different. This is absolutely no different. They even gave Black Mask chameleon powers. That's how bad this is. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to sum up everything. And once again, I put it from the books that I like the least to the books I like the best. No surprise here, gang. I'm sorry, but the new characters they have are just not interesting. And they're getting rid of old interesting characters to replace them. It's very weird. Superwoman, I'm fine with her being called Superwoman. Let's just have her in the book. Let's make the book about her and not some new Crystalline character. Juggernaut, tons of fun. Love it. Have a great time with it. I highly recommend this series. And I think it's just a mini-series. Or is it? Is it an ongoing? I don't know. Anyway, you should be reading it. Same as you should be reading Stillwater. This issue was awesome. I loved seeing the origin of the town and the kid. But it is the best of the bunch. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring the notification bell if you haven't done it already, making sure that your notifications are set on all. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi. Links in the description below. Drop $1 in the till, helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. Like, thank everybody who's already done that. To everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.